So I actually was growing my business on the side for 2 years. And then last year, I was thinking like this would be really cool if I could do this full time.
Mm,
And I just didn't want to make the leap, Ken. And the universe was like, I got you. So I
mm.
got laid off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I remember when I got laid off in the call, when I got off the call, rather, I was just so happy, Ken.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Unstuck Career Podcast with your host, Ken Williams. Each week, we move along your path to possibility so you can finally have the life you want. Let's learn how to deal with people you never wanted to be friends with together so you can become unstuck and unstoppable in your career and life.
And welcome back to another episode of the Unstuck Career Podcast. Today, I'm excited because I have with me a kind of new friend. I just met her in person a couple of weeks ago. This is Carolina Gomez with a really interesting company idea, really interesting story. She's a six-figure entrepreneur and owns Balloon Element out of Florida, I believe. And welcome. I'm.
Thank you, Ken. What's up, Ken? I'm so happy to be here.
It was so fun to meet you in person. I've seen you online for a year or so,
Yeah.
and then we were at a conference a couple of weeks ago and got to actually have a face-to-face conversation. So I learned a little bit about you, but I want to learn a little bit more and share, hopefully, with anybody else who's been struggling with the idea that there can't be any other opportunities. And the thing is, there are so many opportunities. So balloon elements, I'm assuming that you do something with balloons.
You got it, Ken. So, yes, I own a balloon decor company, and our sweet spot, our niche is corporate events. So, we work with all types of companies, from hospitality companies to food and beverage companies. If anything that's an organization like a corporate, we just to be more specific, we basically do everything except for private parties. So,
Okay.
grand openings, corporate anniversaries, a lot of community events, and yeah, I started the business 3 years ago. You're right, I am in Florida and having a blast. This business has been my greatest adventure so far.
It is. Well, anytime you start something on your own, it's an adventure. What were you doing before you started your balloon company?
Good question. So I graduated with a degree in finance. So naturally, I went the corporate banking route. And then I moved to New York for a period and I was working for a digital marketing company. So I was still in the corporate finance space. And then when I moved back to Miami, I was working remote for that digital marketing company. And then I decided to launch my balloon business.
So why balloons? What was it about balloons that you thought this is the thing I want to do with my life?
Oof, such a good question, Ken. So I got into balloons by accident. I've always loved events and I've always created backdrops like made out of wood, and then
Mhm.
we would paint them, and then we would hang a banner that would say like just engaged or happy birthday. So I've always been in like the DIY space. And then
Okay.
one day someone asked me to do a backdrop and add balloons, and I was like, "What? I've never done balloons before." And the first time I did it, it was so tough, Ken, that I was like, "I'm never doing this again." Yeah, and then I posted that picture on Instagram because I was like, I worked so hard on this. Let me just see what the response is.
Right.
Um, because in like the bottom of my mind, I was like, this would be kind of cool to have some type of event company. And
Yeah.
then the response was really positive. A lot of people wanted the balloons and backdrops for their kids' parties. And then I started getting in the balloon world. Like there's podcasts,
Uh,
there's so much information available in the balloon industry on how to grow and well and start a business.
mhm.
Then I started niching down to corporate companies, and then we're here today.
I love it. So 3 years. And tell me about the thought process that you went through going from corporate finance background to nope, I'm going to do my own thing. And how easy was that transition?
Ooh, so I actually was growing my business on the side for 2 years. And then last year, I was thinking like this would be really cool if I could do this full time.
Mm,
And I just didn't want to make the leap, Ken. And the universe was like, I got you. So I
mm.
got laid off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I remember when I got laid off in the call, when I got off the call, rather, I was like, I was just so happy, Ken.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really felt backed by the universe.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, it feels scary. I mean, of course it feels scary.
Sure.
Change, change it like it's always gonna feel scary because it's not what it's like there's so many unknowns, but I doubled down in coaching and the rest is history. Like every day is a choice and you focus on what you want to create with your future, what I want my business to be like, what I want my life to be like. And it gets better.
Yeah. I love that. I because when I so we're in the same coaching program. And one of the things that I experienced, I was at FedEx. I'd been there for 16 years and things were just not going the direction that I wanted. I love coaching. And I realized that I was not going to be able to continue coaching the way that I wanted to if I promoted, if I continued up the corporate ladder. And so then a handful of things just kind of all happened at the same time. And my wife at one point said, do you ever feel like God is just telling you you're taking too long and
Ooh.
just makes things happen? I said, yeah, I kind of do feel like that. She said, yeah, I think so too. So I had the same kind of experience where so I was talking to, so our mentor, coach David, asked what I wanted. And I said, I want out. I want out of my job. And he said, okay, quit. And it was terrifying. But at the same time, it was so liberating, so exciting. And so I decided to do the same kind of thing, meaning go all in on me rather than sit around and sulk and complain like I'd done the other times that I'd been laid off. But yeah. And the great thing about that is that taking that step is a step towards having the life, creating the life, designing a life exactly the way that you wanted.
Yes.
So has that been, first of all, has it been easy? And second of all, have there been any surprises when it comes to creating your life, your business, the structure, however you want to define that, the way that you've created it?
Good question. So I don't, has it been easy? I mean, I think the answer is no, right?
Yeah.
But is it easy being in a job that you hate?
Yeah. It's
So
just a different hard.
it's like a different heart, exactly. So has it been easy? No, because it's like it's a very steep learning curve,
Yeah.
right? When you're building a business from the ground up, if you are not out there on the phone asking, like sharing with people, not asking, letting them know that your business is here and that you're happy to serve them with whatever product you provide, you're not going to make sales.
Right.
So, it's been challenging, but in the best way. Like I from the very beginning, I made sure that I had coaching and it's like I learn so much, Ken, every
Mhm.
day. And it's you learn business and you also learn mindset, which I think
Right.
business is like 90% mindset.
Yeah.
And what was the other question? Has it been easy? So
Have
no,
there
but
been any surprises as you
oh
have started building the business the way that you want it to look?
yes, absolutely. So I'll share one, for example, like one was my biggest client at the like a year and a half, 2 years ago. They started doing the balloons themselves,
Mm,
which is awesome, right? Because now
right.
they're doing that in-house. But then it wasn't awesome for me because I lost a large portion of my sales.
Yeah.
But then I'm so happy that that happened, because then I started down my corporate client. Back then I was still doing social parties, but then I
Mm.
started diving into the corporate client world, which has been so lucrative for me.
Yeah.
So you see, that was a surprise. Like, I wasn't expecting to lose a revenue stream, but then that forced me to evolve and search and find out other types of people that I could serve.
Yeah.
There's also been personal challenges that have, like, I feel like I've lost my footing, but you learn, you adapt, and it just makes you more of a stronger person. And honestly, the craziness, the more craziness, I think, the more chill you become, because you're like, okay, if I got through that, like, nothing, what's the next thing? And then the next thing comes and you're like, okay, wow, if I can get through that, then what? So you just become better and better,
Yeah.
and like, and more humble too, because or maybe humble not the right word, but like less intimidated by life circumstances, because you're like, really, I didn't think I was gonna make it from that last experience, but I'm here.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think
constant.
that has been a really interesting lesson for me as well, because one of the reasons that I took so long to leave corporate to go off on my own was because I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I've got it in me, all of that. And then when you realize that I'm doing it, it's not looking exactly the way that I imagined. It's not as easy as I'd hoped, but I'm doing it. I I got a client. I got a client. Yeah, it's working. I'm getting, people are paying me for the things that I can offer. Um, and one of the things that really surprised me was I was doing something during the day that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to do during the day because I'd be at work, or because I was working nights, I would be sleeping. So I was doing something that I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And it struck me that I can just build my life so I can do these things anytime I want,
Mm.
and then go all in when I have that scheduled, but then take the leisure or the service opportunities or whatever at other times.
Yes.
So I love that. And the other thing that is just such a great reminder is that we are much more capable than we
Mm.
believe.
That's so good, Ken.
Because
Oh, good to hear that. Even though I know this, it's like, you forget sometimes, and just
yeah,
hear someone remind you, like, hey, you're more capable than you think you are. It's like, oh, thank you. You remind me who I am, who I know to be.
well, and the one of the challenges, because it's not, being an entrepreneur is not all butterflies and cupcakes. Sometimes it gets tough
I agree.
because you're not in a location with people that you can kind of share wins with, or bounce ideas off. That's something you have to go out and create on your own. And so yeah, it's totally different, but there's a level of freedom that comes with it.
Mm. You mentioned something really powerful that I've been leaning into, and it's like the wins, learning how to
Mm,
celebrate yourself.
yeah,
And I think now more than ever, I am learning how to celebrate myself, Ken. So when I make a sales call and I feel like it goes great,
mm-hmm.
I'll blast like 10 seconds of hype music for myself, and I'll have a little party. Exactly. Because from our coaching, we know how important it is to stay in
Yeah,
that right mindset and the right energy, and how quickly and how easily it is to dip in that energy and
yes,
go to like negative thoughts in my head. So I think now I'm becoming more aware of how important it is, and it's up to me to keep myself in that high energy place.
yeah.
So that's so true.
It's And this is one of the things that I see a lot, and I've noticed it with myself as well. I outsourced my career path, my job satisfaction, my life happiness, my all sorts of things to other people, to my boss, to my wife, maybe my um, mentors or whatever, and it's a little bit intimidating, but it becomes so powerful when you realize that no, I got this. Not only do I get to have the life that I want, I can create it exactly how I want it, but I then also I can create the the rules, the rules for my success.
Oh, good. That is so good. I'm still learning what the rules are.
Well, because there are no rules. That's the thing. And so that's part of the learning curve, I think.
Yeah.
That so I'm curious, as you stepped away from corporate or you were stepped out of corporate, what what were some of the biggest uh learning curves that you experienced and how did you navigate those?
Mm. Um, hmm. My answer for so much, Ken, is coaching and environment.
Mm,
Uh, so one of my biggest challenges was where's the money going to come from?
right.
And then and not allowing those thoughts to like paralyze me.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest challenges was figuring out my sales were going to come from. And it's still something that I'm working on and figuring out how
Mm,
to do. Uh, but the funny thing is that the money always comes.
yeah.
It always shows up. So I would see no matter how much I would stress, or if I wouldn't stress, the sales would still come. And I found out very quickly that the less I would stress, the easier the sales would come.
Yeah.
So let's say I was out with my nephew, like just running through a field chasing butterflies, I would get like a big client saying like, "Hey, I want to pay you now, and this is what I want." And when I was like hitting the phones and like saying like, "Oh, come on, I need to make a sale," it wouldn't come as easy. So that's a challenge that I'm still learning to navigate, like
Yeah.
holding myself accountable in that I'm not going to worry and I'm just going to do my best every single day.
Yeah.
Another challenge was learning how to dream bigger and step out in
Mm,
faith. So I had months where when I was working from my home, my entire house was filled to the top with balloons. Like we couldn't go to the bathroom without like having our hair super staticky because there was balloons everywhere. And I was like, I think it's time for a warehouse.
yeah.
But I was scared to get a warehouse because I was like, okay, now this is going to be rent that I need to pay.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm in a warehouse space, and I think that's something else that I've learned how to navigate, like dreaming a little bigger.
Yeah. How did you do that? Because one of the things that I've experienced myself and I also see with clients is that when the world that you've ever experienced has certain limits,
Mm.
and then somebody like me or you comes along or David or somebody else and says, "No, the world is so much bigger than that," or it can be if you just believe it. What are some things that you did to allow yourself allow yourself to dream bigger, but also to even know what that could look like? How is it possible to make what seems like a huge stretch believable?
Mm. So I'm a huge believer in vision boards. Everything I
Mhm.
put on my vision board comes to
Okay.
fruition. And I think there's I believe in that visual, like when you see something, you start imagining it and you're like, what if this could happen? So I remember when I first saw my like one thing our mentor says is it's always just a decision, right?
Right.
So when I even started thinking about the renting of a warehouse, I was like, okay, let me just make a decision. This is something I want. Let me go see it. And when I saw my first warehouse space, I was like, this is mine. Like I saw myself in there.
Hmm.
And so the first thing, it's like just making a decision and saying, this is what I want and doing it afraid. Even if you're scared, say, okay, I mean, I observe the fear is there. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Like it's just something that you put in your purse and you're going to hold it with you if you want, but it doesn't keep you from doing something that you want to do. Listening to podcasts of people that are doing way better than I am,
Mm.
that have also navigated scary things. Like I think being in an, even if you don't have access to awesome or people that are like very positive and have that can-do attitude, we don't have an excuse because we have so many things available to us. Like if you just put in YouTube motivation podcast or YouTube business motivation, you're gonna get this influx of awesome motivating energy that helps. It helps
Yeah.
navigate the negative thoughts. So, oh, and I would say writing down my goals, writing down the things that I want to achieve, even if they seem really not possible. Because once I write them down every day, I'm looking at these things, they start becoming like little by little more believable. And then when you add the podcasts in and you add the like listening to these people that are doing amazing, you start building belief that it's possible. And then it just starts happening.
Yeah. So 3 years ago, when you started your business, did you, in your um, vision board, in your goal setting, in your manifesting, did you imagine that you'd be at this point, six-figure entrepreneur?
I want to say no, but actually, yeah, when I started my business, I was like, I know I'm not making a lot of money right now, but this is temporary.
Right.
Like when I saw myself, I did see this version of myself. Maybe I didn't admit it to myself, but I saw a version of myself that was building something big.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I was gonna get to, because I mean, six figures sounds like a lot, but really when you're running a business, I feel like that money just
You
comes
have
and
expenses.
goes. You have expenses.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, I know how to make the money. Now I'm learning how to keep the money.
Right.
But so to answer your question, did I think I was going to be here 3 years ago? No. But I think I always knew that I wanted to build something for myself.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. What do you think has been the biggest change um, that has contributed to your success? And
Coach.
success, you can take it however you want.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I believe success is not just financial, it's also emotional, spiritual, relationships. But yeah, coaching, being around people that are doing way better than I'm doing,
Yeah.
even if I'm uncomfortable.
So
Even
how,
if
go ahead.
I just wanted to share, I mean, there's many times that I'm on a coaching call or that I'm in a room with very successful people that I observe my thoughts saying, I don't belong here.
Right.
Or thoughts saying like I feel uncomfortable. I'm like sweaty. I have like the cold sweats. My hands are a little clammy, but I breathe through and I'm like, I understand you're uncomfortable, Carol, but this is where you need to be. So I
Right.
just wanted to share that for anybody
No,
that also feel the same.
I love that. And I love that you brought it up because I think that some people, maybe me, maybe me, has people feel like because and this is in air quotes, because I don't belong in the room, because I'm out of my element, because I'm not at the same level that I shouldn't start the business. I shouldn't get engaged with like-minded people, but people who are ahead of me. And one of the things that because I'm with you 100%, 100%, that it is the room that we're in, those coaching calls I feel like I'm at a very different level than so many people on there. We've got in their groups, we've got people that are in the multi-million-dollar businesses. And but the thing that I found is that when you find the right community, they're so supportive and they do not care that, in fact, just out of curiosity, because I'm going to assume that your answer is the same as mine. How many people asked you what your revenue was last year before they were willing to provide support?
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Same here. And the thing that I found is that they were so generous with time, with ideas, with encouragement, with support. And
That's such a good point, Ken. But I think, oh, man, the people that are in our group and also in my experiences, people that are in other coaching programs, I think the more money you make, the kinder and more willing you are to help.
yeah. Well, because you get to the point and I'll share, this is where I have found myself that success is not a competition, meaning your success does not diminish my ability to be successful. And so if I'm encouraged, plus I help people get in a better career situation, and you create balloon balls. We're not even in the same industry. So, so there's no competition from that standpoint. But also, even somebody, I was on a phone call with yesterday with somebody who's very similar in what he provides. Slightly different offer. His experience, of course, very different than mine. But his success does not diminish my ability to be successful. Your success does, in fact, what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing myself more and more, what I'm seeing also with the community that we're in, is that your success inspires me to be more successful. And my success, the wins you were talking about, this is so big. The wins that I think are tiny wins. And I'll share one example. I have not shared it on the podcast. I did share it in the group. So I have not done a lot with vision boards, but a year-ish ago, I created a vision board, just cut a few pictures out. And one of the things on there was I wanted to deliver a TEDx talk. And so long story short, well, I don't know if I can make it short. I can make it short. I ended up getting two stages. And so I was just looking at my vision board a couple of days ago. And so I'll show it on camera.
Let's go, Ken. What?
That
August
date on there,
24?
August 30th, I put 2024. I went back and looked. I couldn't remember what year it was when I wrote that, because I didn't start applying for stages until I think July of last year. Okay. And so my date that I put for me to be on a TEDx stage, August 30th, was aggressive. And I did not know how that would happen. And I got a stage, I got Jersey City, and that was exciting. And the date for that is October 4th. And I thought, I made it. And then while we were at the event, I got an email for the Jefferson U event. And they said, we have an opening in our schedule. We'd love to have you on our stage. And so I agreed. And their event date, August 30.
No way.
So
let's go, Ken.
So
what is up?
It blew my mind when I saw this. And so I texted David. I don't care if he shares it with everybody, but I said, I cannot believe I wrote August 30th on my board. And here it is. August 30th is the date that I will be on a stage. And he was so encouraging. And of course, the rest of the community was as well. And so I guess that's my way of saying I'm with you, that there's something to these vision boards. When you can start to see it in your mind, it starts to happen. And I love the idea of just starting to see that it's possible, and how that can start to create, for me, it starts creating belief in myself that maybe I can do this.
So good, Ken. And I mean, if I can encourage anyone today, it's to just take some time, like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and grab a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or tea or water, whatever you're into, and just go and do your vision board. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, can you show your vision board one more time, please?
Yeah, it's out of date. It's out of date because
that's a vision board.
That's right. So TikTok followers, I wanted to get to 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
And I'm at 17,000 right now. So I need
Let's
to
go. Like, this is,
it's so
easy to do. Let's go, Ken. I'm holding that convertible in my mind for you.
I love it. It's going to be purple too.
All right.
I'm purple because I want to stand out.
Good. So anyone listening, like, do your vision board. Do it today. Do it today. Because the faster you do it, the faster you start seeing these things.
Yeah.
I'm going to share one win with you, Ken. I remember a few weeks after I did my vision board, I had put a photo of a girl who looked like me, more or less,
Mhm.
and she was on the stage with a microphone because I wanted to speak on a microphone. I mean, I wanted to speak on a stage. Like I had that in me, and I was like, I want to manifest this.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I got a call from Raheem to be
Oh,
part of the, or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks later, I got a call
yeah.
from Raheem asking to be part of the panel. Like, I was kind of creeped out. I was like, this happened very fast. And I was like, dang, this really works.
Yeah.
This really
Well, all it is a decision. And
works.
I don't know that I take that seriously as much as, because it is a little bit terrifying that if I there's, and I can't remember who said the quote, but one of the quotes that I love, and it's scary big, but we're not afraid of our darkness. It's not our darkness that terrifies us. It's our light. It's our the positive impact that we can have on the world.
It's so
And
good.
um,
That's so true.
that gets a little bit scary that we can have that kind of an impact. And I think the reason for that is because we don't, and this is what we've been talking about for the last week with in our coaching group, that we don't think that we're worth it.
Oh my gosh, you're giving me chills, Ken. This is so good. I'm
This is so much fun. I'm having a great conversation with you.
having a great
But
conversation.
yeah, the thing that one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to you was because, number one, you were on stage and I'm sitting there thinking, that's me next time. And so number two is you're an example of somebody who just doesn't take no for an answer from life. That when the job disappears, you just stepped into exactly what you wanted and made it work, made it your own, made it um, become the life that you wanted through the fear, through the terror that it does happen. But guess what? Terror happens regardless. For you, it's deciding on getting the warehouse space, and for somebody else, it's sitting in their recliner on Sunday afternoon, dreading going to work tomorrow.
That's so
You're going
good.
to have the fear either way. Have fear doing what you want.
Yeah. And I'll share two little side notes that I hold in my mind about fear. And one of them is I heard this in a podcast. Fear is a mile wide, but only an inch deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very accurate. And the other one is both fear and faith are invisible,
Yeah.
but we choose which one we want to believe in. And so many times we go to the fear. And why? If it's just as easy to be faithful that things are going to work out for us. But I ask myself this, right? Because my
Right.
my my mind goes there.
We all do.
Right. Right. We all do. And it's like it's that work of like of reminding myself of what I want and what the truth is and what the laws are. And I have to remind myself, right? Undoing all the years of bad programming or
Right.
incorrect programming.
Yeah.
Um, but fear, there's something we learned too in our coaching program is it's not real.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I have said that fear is flimsy. It is not nearly as thick as it seems. It seems like it's just a mile deep and not a mile wide, and it's not. Taking a step, and I think about all the things that I've done that have been terrifying, like having the difficult conversation with my boss, stepping out of the airplane when I went skydiving, um, walking into my boss's office with my resignation, all the things. And that first step was the hardest, but after that, it just kind of happened.
Yeah. And it always works out for you, does it not?
Right. And it has nothing to do with me. It works out for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. That's what I love about your story is you're a great example of that. And you just think and here's I'm gonna say this, and it may be clumsy, but who would have thought that you could have a six-figure balloon business? And that's what I think a lot of people that are in their miserable jobs are thinking, that, well, I can't do what I want, quote, because what I want is I want to do um, decorating or catering or dog walking or whatever. And we're going to have Jordan on the podcast in a few weeks, and she's got a
My
mildly
God,
successful dog walking business.
amazing. I'm so excited for that. And she's such an awesome human being.
Great. Yeah. So, yeah. So doing what you want is there are opportunities there. And if you want to climb the corporate ladder, there are opportunities there. There's nothing wrong with that. But the rule that and I've got a few years on you, but the rule that I grew up being told at every turn was, go to school so you can get good grades, so you can go to college, so you can get a diploma, so that you can get a job that's going to provide you with safety for the rest of your life. And then 3 times in a row, when my job was eliminated, that job is not safe. And as an entrepreneur, your income may not be safe because the big client may decide to start doing balloons in-house. But what you didn't say, you said it, but you didn't say it this way. You have the skill to go out and find the next one.
Yes, sir.
And so the biggest difference is you banking on you is a better guarantee of success than you banking on your corporate company or the 9 to 5. Because as soon as my wife's going through a situation with her job right now where there's some changes coming and nobody really knows all the answers, but that doesn't change that everybody has questions. And the one thing that there's no entity that cares more about you and your success than you do. And so go all in on you, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been preaching.
Preach, Ken. And a little side note on the going all in on you. Something our mentor says often is you just start where you are.
Yeah.
Like whatever that means to you. I mean, it doesn't have to be this big scary step right all at once. Like maybe start a side business while you have your income, while you
Right.
have your 9 to 5 job, or
Mhm.
maybe think about or research some coaches if you've never done coaching, to help you start stretching your mind, because that's really all it is. It's just you're stretching your mind more and more. And then once you stretch a little bit and it doesn't feel as stretchy anymore, it doesn't feel as tight or uncomfortable, then you're like, okay, I could stretch a little more.
Right.
So it doesn't something David says a lot is also like the story we tell ourselves. It doesn't have to be scary or it doesn't have to be hard. So it can be doable. It can be an adventure. It can be a challenge. It could be an opportunity for self-growth.
Yeah. It can be fun.
It can be fun.
Why not make it fun? Why would you not live life so that you're having fun?
Well, to answer that question is because we don't grow up raised, right? That it should be fun. Maybe
Right.
me, for example, I had strict parents.
Uh-huh.
So the having fun it was like I still work on learning how to have fun. Like I just started between calls, I put some hype music and I do a little dance party. Yeah, and people think like you have
Great.
a balloon company, you're super fun. And it's like, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
So
fun.
great. I could keep talking to you for hours,
Yeah.
but
How long have we been on here already?
this has been so much fun. If people want to learn more about you, if they want to find out if they happen to be in the Miami area and they want to get some balloons from you, then what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Yeah, so our company page is balloonelement.com. And then if they want to connect with me personally, they can follow me on Instagram, which is Carolina X, just the letter X, Cortez, which is an S at the end, not a Z. So Cortez with an S, Carolina X Cortez, and I'm on Instagram.
Sweet. This has been so much fun, and some great insights. I've loved it. thanks so much for taking time. And you've got this, A. And B, thanks for being an inspiration for people who just maybe don't know that anything outside of their job exists, because it 100% does.
Mhm. That's so true. You're very welcome. Thank you for having me, Ken. You're a blast. And everyone is learning. I'm still learning every day. So I believe in whoever's listening, that they're listening for a reason, and we're here to help however we can.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you next week.
Get back to the work you love, where you face less stress, gain more happiness, and live into your purpose. Let me help you become unstuck and unstoppable so you can finally have the life you want. Head over to my website to connect with me at kenwilliamscoaching.com.